June 16th, 20-something. I told Rolly not to touch that damn orb. Ever since Manny found it down by the creek 3 days ago, shit has been off the walls. Roderick is gone. He said he was going to band practice, which seemed normal at first, but he also told us to protect the orb with our lives if necessary. He disappeared that night, and we have no clue if he will ever return. Sometimes gravity lessens near it, but what really scares us is what it did to Manny. To cut things short, Manny is inside out in our basement. Nobody has had the courage to try to touch the damn thing since voices emanate from inside it on occasion. Well, nobody except Rolly. Poor guy. It was a shame what I had to do to Rolly. His condition never got better, so I had to club him to death with the shovel. Also, despite being in the basement, Manny came back. Which, on its own is terrifying. What's even scarier is the fact that Manny is still down there. So this soulless monster isn't my brother. It looks like him, talks like him, and acts like him, but it isn't him. The original Manny is still in the basement like how he was when I wrote my first entry days ago. Roderick is still gone. Not like I miss him or anything. Voices still come from the orb. Usually ominous messages, but today I could swear I heard the voices of Roderick, Manny, and Rolly. It could just be schizophrenia I've developed from the situation. It doesn't seem like it in writing, but this is the most terrified I've been in my life. If you're reading this, tell. The Manny-like creature disappeared overnight last night. But more importantly, Roderick returned. I never thought I'd be happy to see him, but here I am now. Roderick explained to me that the orb must be some kind of gateway to an alternate realm, because he tried to steal it for band money, but upon touching it he turned up into a dark hellscape filled with nightmarish scenes. He barely escaped with his life, but at some point he passed out and woke up in the living room. He said he didn't want to go fully into detail what he saw. Also, sorry about certain names being crossed out in the last entry. I guess the orb is trying to erase them from record. I'll keep you updated. It was good to know I had someone I could trust, even if that person was Roderick. This proved true when we entered the living room to find 2 copies of Mom arguing with each other, speaking in perfect unison. It was impossible to tell which was which, as each spoke exactly the same as the other. When it seemed we were at a loss, Roderick pulled a gun out of his pocket and pointed it at the orb. This instantly broke the character of the fake mom, who lunged toward Roderick. Luckily, as fast as it was, Roderick's trigger finger was faster. As the bullet hit the fake mom, the creature faded into dust. I never thought I'd be saying this, but I'm glad Roderick's around. Yesterday I asked Roderick if there was anything he'd be willing to share about the inside of the orb. Without saying anything, he grabbed a marker and walked over to the wall. He started scribbling all over the wall until it made the shape of a horrifying face. He stood there in silence for a few minutes before turning to me and saying, "Any questions?" His face went pale and he immediately rushed to his room and locked the door. I'm scared. I'm scared for Roderick. I'm scared what the orb will do to this family. I just want it to end. Please. Winter? I haven't been keeping track of time since the orb came into our home, but I felt that it was at least a month. Well, I was wrong. When I looked out the window it was showing. My first journal entry was in June. Is it even the same year? I don't know. Is it even winter? Roderick still hasn't left his room. I guess he does at some point, because he has to eat somehow. Or maybe he doesn't. Maybe he wasn't even ever real, I don't know anymore. The orb has been changing our perceptions of reality for months now, I suppose. Am I even real, or am I just a reanimated corpse meant to tell a tale? I woke up in the middle of the night last night in a cold sweat, my palms were sweating. My knees were weak. My arms were heavy. I could barely hold in Mom's dinner from last night. I ran to the bathroom to let it all out, but it was waiting for me. The orb. I didn't see it, but I could sure as all hell hear it. Let's just say I didn't sleep for the entire night. I probably won't sleep ever again, just to be safe. I thought it had me. The orb. I was heading into the kitchen, because I hadn't eaten all day, when I felt something grab my shoulder. It felt like Dad, but when I turned around it sure as hell wasn't. It had the body of Dad. But from the heck up it was 100% orb. I felt like I was a goner. Luckily I was able to free myself from the orb's grasp. I've had it. Enough's enough. I'm tired of this orb terrorizing my family. It all ends tomorrow. This is for Manny, Roderick, Rolly, Mom and Dad. And this is to show that goddamn orb that I chose the wrong family to pick on. Well, today's the day. I'm sick of standing around as this thing mentally tortures me and my family. I grabbed the gun Roderick stashed away, and made for the room the orb was in last. So many atrocities caused by one evil entity. I have to do this. Even if it costs me my life. I could barely see into the room. It was thick with a blinding red fog. I couldn't see it, but I knew it was there. I looked around for a few seconds until it caught my eye. "This is for everything you've done to me and my family," I said as I raised my hand and pulled my finger on the trigger. June 16th. It's been 1 year since the orb came into our home. I thought I lost this journal until today, when I was cleaning and found it under the couch. Everything has gone back to normal after the incident. Even Rolly and Manny, like their deaths never even happened. No more voices. No more inhuman copies of my family. Roderick even picks on me a little less. Keyword being little. Just thinking back to having that thing in our house is like a surreal dream. The endless whispers, the horrifying amalgamations of family members. The fear of not being able to sleep most nights. They say happy endings only happen in fairy tales, but that must be bullshit, because the ending to this story is more than I could have ever asked for.